going to be a very exciting end to this motor race.
Guy Smith and Eric Lux are absolutely together at the head of the field. They are first and second. They are teammates. I wouldn't expect to see the 20 car making any bold moves on the 16 because they're not in the championship hunt. So they need to play a backstop at the moment. They're taking points. What they are doing as far as the championship hunt for the 16 car is they're taking points away from Lucas Luhr, Muscle Milk and Greg Pickett, who we were talking to just a few moments ago. So stay in his slipstream, follow his lines by all means, and try and keep the 6 car behind you.
Absolutely, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4 overall positions at the front of the pack when we go back to restart with 19.5 minutes to go. So I reckon, yeah, 9 or possibly 10 laps of racing.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Green, green.
As we head off into the sunset here at Elkhart Lake, and Guy Smith leads his teammate behind the battle for P2, Martin Plowman and Scott Tucker. But for Scott Tucker, that's the wrong car that he's battling. If he gets by, though, he won't back away. He wants to get by Plowman to take points away. The 0.55 at the moment is not going to be a factor, certainly for first or second. It might even drop off the podium. Now, there is the 6 car, third position in P1. This is championship as well. He's got to be quick, but absolutely precise through the traffic.
That's right, he's got to pick his way through as quick as he possibly can there, going past that Lotus Evora that we've talked about. A great run for Alex Job Racing. Looks like they're going to get a top 8 finish. That'll be the best season finish for that car as Lucas Luhr now sets his sight. Look at this battle here, side by side between a Ferrari and a Corvette.
And Mr. Me Not You has it absolutely right. We've sold you a seat. You'll only use the very edge of it here as we go into a 5-way scrap street fight in the street-based class of GT. And there is your leader, Bill Oberlin. He's got 0.6 of a second on his teammate. Oh, forget about times at this point. Just look at the gaps. Everybody else is in second place down over. This is basically just a run to the line. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth there going through.
Yeah, what frustration that must be for the Flying Lizard guys. I mean, everything was looking really good for them, but for that timing of that caution period.
At the top of the show, right at the very start, some 3 hours and, well, nearly 4 hours ago, Bill Oberlin gave us the quote, "We're gonna put the brakes on the Vex this weekend. We're the team to do it." And my goodness me, they're stamping their authority as they're through. Goes the car. Now I don't think that is a pass for position. I think that is Van Overbeek's team. No, that was Van Overbeek. My apologies. That's Jan Magnussen, I think, putting a move on Van Overbeek.
No, that's the green shade band there, which is the 02 car, and that is a lap.
Well, Magnussen's got ahead of both of the Ferrari. One of the Ferraris, really. He's got the 4-ways on at the moment. Yeah. So he has dropped a position, Van Overbeek. We thought he was in a pretty good shape, and in fact the Lizards have gone through as well. Indeed. So it's all changed. GT now, 55 and 56, Oberlin and Muller. Jan Magnussen is up to third. Jon Bergmeister is up to fourth. Johannes Van Overbeek drops 2 down to 5th position. He's got Ollie Gabbard breathing down his neck as well now. Just in the background there. He'll be there shortly. The 44 car is not in the fight. There's something odd with the green shade banded ESM car. That is the 02. He keeps flashing his 4-ways. There they go again. I think he's telling his teammate to go through.
Yeah. And then he'll try and tuck him behind him, but actually, in doing so, he's actually lost a position there to Marco Holzer in the number 44 Flying Lizard car. Both of those two 1 lap down to the GT leaders.
Yeah, Holzer in 9th, Guy Cosmo in the 02 is actually down in 11th. I think that was, they were already separated there.
A couple of laps down the line.
Yeah. So, Magnussen, Bergmeister, Van Overbeek separated by just a second at the head of the field. Bill Oberlin has a second on Dirk Muller.
So working their way through the traffic that last time, the race leaders, Guy Smith turned a 1 minute 58.8, Lucas Luhr turned a 1:59.6, even though he had to pass a whole slew of cars. So Lucas Luhr is on the move. He's in 5th place overall right now, but he's going to be on the back of those cars battling for P2 very, very soon. 15 minutes to go.
And he's got something like 26 seconds to Eric Lux in second. He'll want to get there at least. And here he comes, making more passes down towards Canada Corner. Guy Smith doing a great job, just a 55.8 last time around. He's cleared the traffic. And Muscle Milk is now 21 seconds behind the leader.
No, that's the differential overall. That's,
oh, is it? So he's now down to 11 seconds.
Absolutely he is. Yes, he's just gone past Scott Tucker there, so moving himself up into 4th place overall, and less than 11 seconds the deficit to the race leader, and he's only about 7 seconds behind Eric Lutz. So if he can maintain this sort of pace, as they came across the line that time, a 1 minute 52.3 for Lucas Luhr, 1 minute 55 for Guy Smith, 1:57 for Eric Lutz, so 5 seconds quicker.
Patrick Dempsey's on the podium in the 27 Dempsey Racing Lola Coupe, gone by the 0:55. Christophe Bouchou's back out on the track on his first lap out, but he lost nearly 7 minutes in the pits with this problem. The rear suspension clearly not to the Frenchman's liking. They changed the tyre, they've had a look at it, they've sent him back out again, but that championship position that we were talking about, that's a differential of 2 places in the standings.
Indeed so, and in that 0:55 car, it was Scott Tucker that set the best lap of that car during the race. For Christophe Bouchou, the car was running fine, it seemed, until just a few minutes before this caution period, but Christophe Bouchou wasn't able to go quicker than Scott Tucker.
The chase for Muscle Milk continues.
The nail biting going on down at Muscle Milk Picket Racing right now. You have the guys on the front row of the pit cart staring at the computer screens. They're not even watching the race. And you've got the guys on the back row cheering in their ear right behind them. Everybody down here right now paying attention to the end of this race. This is good stuff in prototypes.
And it happens here so many times at Road America. Smithy crosses the line of 55.8. He's got 4 seconds on Lux, then it's Plowman, he's just about to go through.
9. Keep pushing, pal, keep pushing. You're chasing him down,
And in fact, Lucas Luhr's gone past Martin Plowman now, and now he's got 8.2 seconds to the leader, and just 4 seconds to 2nd place. Once again, Road America, 4 miles around, the longest track, is potentially going to give us one of the closest finishes.
There is a number 20 car going out of the frame there at the bottom, on his way towards turn 5, and here is Lucas Luhr pressing on behind him. It's only going to be another lap or so, and he's going to be right with Eric Lutz, and then can he catch Guy Smith?
He's actually leaning forward in the cabin. He's tucking himself down, head down, as if it's going to make a blind bit of difference. But you see people doing this. He's picked up a little bit of understeer there, going through turn number 6. The car just pushing perhaps a little more than Lucas would want to, but he is wringing every last 10th of a second out of the car as he races back towards 2nd place Eric Lux. He did a 53 last time around. Lux did a 56. That's not a shoddy time, but he's there. He's right on him at the carousel, and he's caught him very quickly indeed. Now,
that was Eric Lux's best lap, in fact, for that car in this race. So he's pushing as hard as he can, but Lucas Luhr is looming.
He's trying to take points away. It's Lux. This is very, very important for the championship. They would love to keep that 20 car ahead for the next 11 minutes and 50 seconds. And Eric breaks the last of the late break as he somehow pitches the car and backs it in like a MotoGP rider in the Canada corner. But I don't think that Lucas Luhr will be denied. Lucas has to be clever. Oh, he's gone down the inside at the final corner. I don't think he really needed to be that impetuous there. He probably would have got him on the start-finish line. But look at this, Lux is having a go back. They've wound up the power on the Mazda Turbo, side by side. Lux is on the wrong side, but he's gonna make, look at Lucas, looks across to the right, going, what are you doing? Where are you gonna go from there? That was absolutely superb. He's into 2nd place, and now he's got some 8.7 seconds between himself and the leader. 8.7 seconds, 11 minutes.
7 laps remain, -8 seconds, -8.
No ways the 7 laps left if you're doing 153s and there's 11 minutes to go.
No.
I think they're being a little bit generous there. I think it's going to be probably 5 or 6.
And last lap for Guy Smith at 153.6.
Wow.
Which is only hundredths slower than his best lap in this race. So Guy Smith, he knows what he's got to do here. He's got to put the pedal to the metal and try and stay out front. Lucas Luhr is going to be charging as hard as he can. Oh, here's the number 95 car. Oh, yeah, major problem for the number 95.
Now, this car needs to sit there.
But then...
No, he needs to sit there. He can't get past Plowman. He's decided he can't get past Plowman, so therefore he's got to give the position back to his teammate.
Yeah.
It means he's going to give up a podium position in the 95. But what will happen is the Dempsey car will go through, but so will the 055. Kelly Stavist is down there.
Well, we saw the 055 in earlier. They had a suspension failure on the left rear. So word from the team is that the 95 is coming in so that they could give it a good look over and make sure the suspension on the 95 is in proper working condition. So that's why you see the crew checking out the rear of the 95 at the moment.
I don't have a problem with this at all. No. I don't have a problem with this at all, whether or not there was a problem. This is team racing. These guys are going for a championship. They've run 2 race cars. They've brought 2 race cars to the track. They've paid their entry money. And this is the car they are trying to get back up onto the podium to mitigate the amount of points that Martin Plowman and the 37 team are going to take off them in the championship. This is a team game. I have no problem with that at all. Here comes Lucas Luhr. Look at the progression from Lucas Luhr as Guy Smith continues to lay down very, very good laps, 153.5, but Lucas Luhr did a 51.3 last time around.
Yeah, and that was the best lap for Guy Smith, and Lucas Luhr was only a couple of tenths or 1/10 or so off his best lap, so both of these guys are really pushing hard. But this is going to, with the 95 car in the pits, that's going to put Patrick Dempsey and Joe Foster into 2nd place. That really is a great result for those guys, and they've turned pretty respectable pace as well, given their lack of experience in these cars.
Yeah, Ben Devlin brought in as a little insurance for those guys this weekend. Joe Foster with some rib injuries from an incident in a GT car at Watkins Glen last weekend, and he's made a difference, hasn't he, even though he hasn't got in the car?
Yeah, he hasn't got in the car, you're right, but a lot of information he's able to bring to them and really help them, develop themselves and get them comfortable in the car. Yes, he's been a big inspiration. I think, whoa, what's going on there? GT cars all over the place. Look at that,
well,
the Lizard.
That's the Flying Lizard, and the Flying Lizard is up and past one of the BMWs, so there's been changes in GT while we've been watching the leaders, and that's 2nd place now for the Lizards. And here's how it happens. This is the battle for 1st and 2nd in class, is it? 2nd and 3rd. 2nd and 3rd in class. And there goes the Lizard and says, ooh, I'll just have 4th up to 2nd. Thank you very much indeed. And it is Jörg Bergmeister, by the way, back in the 45, just going through past Dirk Muller and Jan Magnussen there. Across the line, Guy Smith with 7:36 left. That ticking clock going down will not be going fast enough for Chris Dyson and the rest of the team. A 155.8 last time around is down to 2 seconds. We can see them in the same shot as they head down at the Bridge and Stratton Bridge, and now there's GTC cars and they're battling for position. That's Damien Faulkner and Martin Ragginger battling for 2nd position in GTC, and Faulkner's got the leaders coming through. These guys have got to keep their wits about them. Through goes Lucas Luhr, driver's left. Great driving by all concerned, and there is the leader in GTC, and no doubt JDX and Green Hornet is catching there. We've only got a battle in every single class on the circuit at the moment.
Yeah, great stuff. What a charge this has been by Lucas Luhr. And Guy Smith, he's going to give it his all, but has he quite got enough?
We need 5 eyes because of the 5 categories at the moment. Bleekemolen leads in GTC by 2.5 seconds from Ragginger and Faulkner, who are together. In PC, well, that one is a little bit better for Tom Kimber-Smith. He's managed to pull out all of 4 seconds over Colin Brown, his teammate, and another second back to 3rd place, Kyle Marcelli. In GT, Oberlin has 2 seconds over Dirk Muller in... Dirk Muller's back a second? No, that's not right. Jörg Bergmeister, he has 4 seconds to Jörg Bergmeister. They've just gone across the line. In P2, Martin Plowman has the biggest lead of anybody at the moment as he is cruising home to the Conquest Endurance victory, surely in 4th place overall. Guy Smith has 2.1 seconds over Lucas Luhr. Did I miss anybody out there? No, that is the 5 classes. And this is marvellous. Here we are after 3 hours, 54 minutes and 5 seconds. Guy Smith will now have to properly defend for at least another 2 laps of this motor race. 8 miles, I reckon, now between Guy Smith.
3.
Do you think 3?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh, dear.
He's got his hands on here, Guy Smith. I mean, the muscle milk car is clearly a lot faster. That time when they come across the line, a 1:54 point for Guy Smith, a 1:53's flat for Lucas Luhr.
Eric Lux has done a great job, by the way, in the 20 car. He's still well under 2 minutes. He had to give up second place to Lucas Lohr. They were trying to take points away from their championship rivals, help the guys in the 16 car. They haven't been able to do it. It was 0.3 of a second at the line, and Lucas Lohr, you get the feeling now, is lining up Guy Smith for a clean pass somewhere. Where are the respective strengths and weaknesses of these two cars? The Mazda-powered Lola Coupe of Dyson against the HPD Honda Performance Development chassis and the Honda engine that is chasing them down. Lucas Lohr looks speculatively at the outside, going down towards turn 8. He's not really going to make a move there. For my money, he'll try and nail it coming out the carousel. Might be a little bit too close here, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's going to try and get a run off this corner, and then there's a slower cut. That's the Lotus Evora in front of him. They're going into the kink. And
come on, Smithy, you've got to go through if you're going to do it. He has, right. And that has fallen nicely. For once, a little bit of luck for the Dyson car, as Smithy was very decisive there. Lucas just had to back off, and look at the gap. He's put it back to where it was a lap ago. Down the Canada corner, 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go.
Yeah, I reckon 3 more laps, I think it's going to be, unfortunately for Guy Smith, because that just means he's got to grit his teeth for a little bit longer. But what a battle this has turned out to be. A tremendous comeback. But what a great effort by Guy Smith. I mean, clearly, you know, the Dyson Racing guys, they've been struggling with the handling of this Lola Mazda for pretty much the whole season. But Guy Smith now, you can see that victory is, you know, kind of almost in his grasp. He certainly doesn't want to give it up.
Down into turn number 1. It is the 16 of Guy Smith. He's got more traffic, and all of these guys are also battling. They're all wanting to get to the end of the race. It's that part of the season as we move into the last quarter where every single position on the track means better points towards the end of the year. Everybody's got to be so heads up about this now. It was 0.8 of a second at the line. Guy Smith again decisively moves to driver's left on, is that Bryce Miller? Yes, it is, behind the wheel of the Chopard 48 Porsche. But
once
this
again,
time,
Lucas through his line, compromise there into turn 6, but again, he carries a lot of momentum through that corner. I mean, that car really is working well, that HPD with the Honda engine, 3.4-litre engine. It's just a super piece of equipment, and again, Lucas Lewis squeezes down the inside of that PC car, and once again, he's almost onto the tail of Guy Smith.
Right, keep your eyes on this while quickly I remind everybody that in PC, the lead between the 06 and the 05 cars is just under 4 seconds. Kyle Marcelli dropping back a little bit from those two. In GTC, Blake Molan's got 2 seconds over Ragginger and Faulkner, who are having a cracking battle, but there's no way we can take our eyes off the head of the field as Lucas Lohr slowly, inexorably drags his way back to the rear spoiler of Guy Smith's Lola Mazda Coupe. And the Yorkshireman will have to pull out all of that northeastern grit that he's got there, and he flicks the car into the final corner. There is Lucas Lohr in second place as they head up the hill again with GT traffic. Who gets the best of the traffic this time? Look at the gaggle of cars. 2 minutes to go. You're right, there's going to be another couple of laps. You were on the money there. Half a second. That's the least that Lewis taken out of him.
Turn 3 is going to be interesting down here at the bottom of the hill. Look at this lot.
It's like a traffic jam. Smoke screen being thrown up by one of the cars. It's like a Bond movie. All we need now is throwing out the tax. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th in GT.
And look at that, Lucas has got a run on him, but there's cars in the way. He can't take advantage of the running car through turn 3.
But don't forget, the car in front is a turbo. You get off there, it takes a while for it to spool back up again. The normally aspirated car should have a little bit of an advantage going on and off the power. Super driving between all of those guys. We've got PC, GT, and the BMW gets pushed off there. And that is losing a position then for Dirk Muller in 4th place in the battle in GT. Bill Oberlin still leads by 3.5 seconds from Bergmeister, 55 from 45 there, but the leaders are already down at turn number 8, just making sure that nothing else has changed as they've gone through this time. On the other classes, it's going to be tight everywhere, eyes in the back of your head. And Guy Smith has got about 5.5 miles to hold off Lucas Lohr. what a famous victory this would be. It's been a great charge back. I've never seen blue flags waved with any more gusto than they are now. Everyone around the circuit, including the corner workers, knows what's at stake here. As Lucas Lowe loses the front end of the Muscle Milk car, he knew he had to get down the inside of the Dempsey racing machine there if he was going to have any chance in the last 4 miles, which start in about 6 seconds' time.
Yeah, the rear end of the car got really loose under braking for Canada Corner, but Lucas Lowe held on to him, and now he's charging up the front straight. But you know, this Lola Mazda, it is very quick on the straight, so Lucas, having closed up, making that last pass, there is the white flag. Just 1 lap to go for Guy Smith in the lead, or Lucas Lowe currently in second place.
He's held on to that half a second. Never has a white flag looked so good for Guy Smith. Down into turn number 3, excuse me, at the bottom of the hill. Lucas gets a good run through there. He's edging back towards the back of the coupe again. He looks at his mirrors just to see if there's anything behind him. Lucas, there's nothing behind you, mate. Just concentrate on going forwards.
Guy Smith just turned his best lap of the race at 1:52.927, exactly when he needs it.
Through traffic and under pressure, the Yorkshireman, the 2003 Le Mans winner for Bentley, shows his mettle. I don't think this is going to be able to be called until we see them come up the hill for the last time as Lowe tries on the outside. Everybody trackside at the moment is holding their breath for another 2 minutes or so into the carousel for the final time, halfway round the final 4 miles of 4 hours. In fact, we're over 4 hours of racing. Once again, the American Le Mans Series over-delivers in terms of entertainment as Guy Smith comes through the kink for the last time. Lucas Lowe will surely have a look at Canada Corner. He must try and do it. He's going to have to come from a long way back.
I don't think he's going to be close enough at Canada Corner. He's going to have to make it, I think, at turn 14. He's right on Guy Smith's tail as they go up the hill now. Just 2 more corners to go.
Well, he's shown that he can stick it up the inside going into the last corner. It's now or never for Lucas Lowe, and it's now, and he's done it. He had to make it stick, but he's gone wide, and here comes Smith.
A drag race. We got a drag race.
And it's a little, who's got the ponies? Who's got the ponies? It's got to be the Mazda. The Mazda has beaten the Honda up the hill.
Wow.
And that is extraordinary.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Unbelievable. Last year, 0.112 of a second between these 2 cars. It was the number 16 that came out on top then. Now it's 0.083 of a second between them. Even closer. Fantastic finish.
Give the scriptwriter a raise. That was outstanding. BMW take GT with Bill Oberlin, and he's won by all of 2 seconds over Jörg Bergmeister. The Battery Tender Hard Charger Award, it's got to go to Lucas Lowe for that last stint. He took the lead and went away. It looked like he was going to win that race. He's been through the field a couple of times. They've had their problems. What a fantastic run it's been. He had to chase down the 16, and at the last corner, he sticks it in there. That's really, really good driving by both of them. Smithy doesn't flinch, knows he might just have a chance, feints to the right, goes to the left. Oh, magic stuff. And Lucas Lowe might not have won the race, but he's taken the Hard Charger Award, and there is Guy Smith just sneaking the victory by a lawless length, 0.083 of a second. Can we do that again now?
Wasn't that absolutely wonderful?
Oh, dear me.